Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back. We're going to begin reading chapter 9, and I do believe we will finish chapter 9 in this video. It's about 18 pages, which is one of our shorter chapters. This chapter is titled The Aftertime, and here we have just a separate little quote to start us off with our chapter directly from Mary, the mother of Jesus. I like to think of the coming new era as the aftertime, for truly it will be the aftertime when all will live in peace. It is time for an evolutionary period to come to Earth. The coming era in mankind's life is a time of evolution. This will be a period of great growth in the species of man and many species of animal. Some animals which are on Earth now will not survive the coming changes. They will go the way of the dinosaur and mammoth. Man will change drastically. He will evolve into a new species. This evolutionary process will come about because of the need to adjust. The atmosphere will change in components. The solar system will be different. A new sun will be added. This will be a binary solar system. The two suns will activate cells which will draw nourishment from the sun's rays. The need to ingest food will be aided by the nourishment derived from the sun rays. This is interesting because this was also something that was talked about in Earth's Birth Changes, which was a book that was channeled by Azina Amada, by the entity known as Saint Germain. And he also talks about the changes in our ingestion in food, and even saying that at some point in the very far future, humans will not need food to live. It would be more of eating because it's something we enjoy, but not necessary to sustain ourselves. I don't know how much I feel about that, because that's not exactly what she's saying, but it's along the lines of. Men will evolve into a more mental being. He will be able to hear sounds which are not presently heard. He will see through particles of light which are hidden to him now. With his mind, man will hear and speak. He will have better use of his psychic abilities. That which you call intuition will be strongly activated in all of mankind. There will be a need for honesty because of the ability to hear mentally. Today, man hides his feelings and thoughts. In the aftertime, man will not be able to hide his feelings or random thoughts. Motives will be known. All dealings will be understood. All thoughts will be heard. Can you see how wonderful this new way of life will be, and how it would be so necessary to master your thoughts, right? Mankind will become more peaceful out of necessity. How could you approach another in anger or with malice in your heart? All feelings, all thoughts will be sensed and heard by everyone. People will learn to live in peace. There will not be any ambushes or surprises. When there is no need to hide, hiding will be eliminated. Hurt feelings will be dealt with immediately because of the very openness of each situation will demand it. People will not be fooled into making compromises which are not in their best interest. Love will be the answer to all problems, because anger and fear in problems will be seen for what they are. People will speak from the standpoint of love and compassion. Forgiveness will be the accepted mode of conduct. When a person is loving and feels remorse, others will react in love and forgiveness. Like begets like. Love and forgiveness will beget more love and more forgiveness. Due to his increased mental abilities, man will be able to heal himself. Man will not be able to fool even himself. There will be an openness about your feelings and thoughts. There will be no need to blame others for your shortcomings. When you can read another's mind, you will not abuse him as readily. Children will come into a newly evolved family with more mental abilities. They will teach their parents to act and react in love and from a standpoint of peace. My children, the light of God will shine into every man and into every situation. Where there is light, there cannot be darkness. God's light will shine into the hearts and minds of all men. Each person will know that in order to progress, he is dependent on others. Therefore, every person is important. Every person will have his place in society. All people will be needed in order to advance and to live comfortably. The cooperative spirit in every person will come about through his survival instincts. You will realize that each person has strong survival instincts. In order for the species to survive, man will learn to live in harmony and in peace. There will not be the large population there is today. The number of humans on Earth in the beginning of the new era will be diminished. People are not completely ignorant. Every species has evolved because of the necessity to adjust in order to survive. Man will have improved his view of nature, or will have an improved view of nature. The planet will be loved and cared for. Man will not abuse the earth. He will learn new ways to live on Earth, to care for the planet, and to allow for the regeneration of life on Earth. There will be pockets of technology left on Earth. Those who survive in these pockets of technology will have a new attitude toward life. What is and what is not important to man will be contemplated. The technology which remains will be used to improve life on Earth. War and fighting will be deemed barbaric and archaic. Man will not enjoy destruction of any kind because of the amount and proportion of destruction sustained during the changes. There will be a new appreciation of life, of individual people, of the old and of the young. Each will have value to society for different reasons. The old for their know-how, the young for their strength. All will cooperate in making life on Earth peaceful and heavenly. As man evolves into a new species, so will music, art forms, and beliefs. The good of today's era will be remembered in song and in art. The tales of this era will be told and retold. These times will become legends. How you live now will be buried underneath the earth. In future days, the items you treasure today will become relics. When uncovered, the new species of man will wonder how so many people could live on Earth at one time. New ways of utilizing the two suns will spark new advances in technology. There will be new modes of travel, new ways to heat your homes. The needs of mankind will change. The changes which are coming will be great. New elements will be discovered. New methods of communicating with other planets will be set into motion. After the Earth has changed its position in space and the new sun has taken its place, then will be the time of peace, which has been prophesied. In this new era, there will be communication between the spirit world and the earth. People will be able to communicate with those who are living in the spirit world. In this way, much insight will be given. The people on Earth will have more understanding of how the universe works and of their mission on Earth. Can you imagine communicating with your loved ones who are no longer on Earth, who have died? Think of the knowledge which will be available. Fear of death will become passé. There will be a way to talk to those who can give people knowledge of past cultures, of past abilities. Think how helpful this will be. A person desires to cook some delicacy for which a former member of the family was famous. The past family member can be reached and help is yours. Or more importantly, say you desire to know something of the history of your family. See how easy this will be? Also, your questions about life, spirit, and soul and reality can be answered instantly. There will be no need for any unanswered questions. Jesus will be able to teach as he did while on earth. Buddha can give the explanation of his teachings. Because of this ability to communicate with other levels of existence, there will be much help in every form of mankind. The children will have lessons from people who made the discoveries of what is being taught. Or, as in science, the Einsteins will be the teachers. See how wonderful the new era will be. People will want to live in peace and cooperate with nature and each other. Mankind will desire peace and serenity. All of mankind will work for peace. When there is an eruption of temper, it will be settled quickly and with all kinds of help, spiritual and otherwise. The new species of man will be programmed deep within to live in harmony with himself and with the planet. With each generation, there will be small changes in appearance. The future man will be taller and stronger than this species. As the body changes due to new functions of the skin, the clothing humans wear will change drastically. People will see each other's auras and hear each other's thoughts. Through the ability to see an aura, you will know instantly how a person is feeling. I like to think of the coming new era as the aftertime, for truly it will be the aftertime when all will live in peace. The planet itself will have a new face. There will be new lands which will appear from beneath the oceans. These lands, which have lain fallow for millions of years, will rise and be fruitful once again. Because of the changes in the atmosphere, there will be new plant life on Earth. The plants and foliage of today will change into new plants and new species of plants. Some hybrids will become annuals. Some foliage will disappear completely. Trees will have new forms and shapes. Trees will develop from some of the plants which are now simply bushes. All these changes in foliage will occur due to the changing gases and atmospheric conditions. The existing plant life on Earth will adapt and change. New plants will appear, and some old plants will change so drastically that they will seem as new plants. Flowers will become edible. Plants will not only look beautiful, but also nourish in different methods than today. Poisonous plants will have a different hue to them. This will alert man to their potential danger. All this will take time, for as the new lands emerge from the ocean floor, there will be a need for it to dry and to air out. The land will be rich in minerals and form much beauty. New rivers will form, and the waters of Earth will run in different directions. New oceans will form, some will have new names, and there will be a remembrance of old oceans in name. In the early days of the aftertime, there will be much moisture in the air. With ash and dust in the atmosphere, there will be many days with no sun. The growing seasons will be turned around, and plants will grow slowly at first. Then, as the moisture gives way to the regulation of climate, there will commence a new growing season. In the first days, as the lands settle and rearrange themselves, there will be turmoil and distress among men. Those who are relying on God will be led to safe places. Through your mind and heart, or another way to say this, through your thoughts and feelings, will come those ideas which will direct you correctly. There will be safe places on Earth. There will be pockets of technology left intact. In these safe areas will be food, clean water, and shelter. The climate in these safe areas will remain stable and in good order. The climate in the new lands will be changeable and unsettled. But these new lands will not be inhabited for some time, or inhabited, sorry. The climate, plants, and animals will be the order in which life will return to these new lands. In the beginning, the climate will be unsettled, then there will be a calming into seasonal patterns. Plants will spring up, rivers and lakes will settle into their beds. As the plants begin to grow, small birds and animals will enter into the new lands. As the winds scatter seeds and life through the new land, forests will commence to grow. Seasons will be in place and the growing patterns will emerge. These lands will be untouched by man. They will be virginal and grow according to new growth patterns, which will be activated by nature. Birds will migrate once again, and new species of birds will enter life on this planet. Small animals will begin to move into the forest. As there will not yet be any large predators, their numbers will flourish. As the food chain begins to expand and grow, so will mankind. But through this time of growth, there will be a remembrance of the old days. Songs will tell the young of the past era, of ancestors who lived in much fear and with hatred. The songs will explain how anger and hatred can kill the soul. Legends will spring up as time passes. New people will populate Earth. These people will be a new species of man, as I have told you. The new species will be more aware of the spirit and soul. He will be closer to the divine, for he will retain a remembrance. All men will be considered brothers. Love and goodwill are the elements which will be in vogue. Peace will be the rule of the day. Peace with man, with nature, and with God. This will be the era of 1,000 years of peace, which has been foretold. Man will have declined in numbers and will abhor anything which will take away from the population. As there will be direct communication with the spirit world, much knowledge will be gained. The new species of man will be more intelligent, knowledgeable, and understanding. He will teach patience, kindness, and forgiveness to the young. Since the young will be raised in love and peace, this is what they will practice in their lives. Man will not only communicate with spirit, but with the animal kingdom. The animals hold much knowledge and will teach man much in the ways of nature. Animals will teach man which plants and herbs they use for medicines and for food. Man will teach the animals about spirit. There will be an air of cooperation in all areas of nature. How will the animals keep the food chain intact, and how will they feed their young if they are carnivorous? These animals, which have been carnivorous in their past, will begin to find their nourishment from plant life. The senseless killing of animals for sport will cease. The eating of flesh will abate and not be the problem it is now. There will be new animals without intelligence, for the purpose of providing food. As there will be pockets of technology left intact, much of what is good in the world today will survive. Today's technology will be the seed for future technology. New ideas and concepts will sprout from the old technology. In certain sciences, these technologies will be so changed as to be unrecognizable. The technologies which will survive will be helpful to all of mankind. The body will learn how to revive itself by mental capability. You already know that in the mind are re-energizing qualities. These energies will be understood. The ability to activate these energies will be in each human. The body will go into a deep sleep and be re-energized and reformulate cells for the purpose of healing. There will be communication with other planets. The beings from other planets will bring much knowledge to you in the healing arts. In the beginning days of the Aftertime, beings from the other planets will be a great help to mankind. They will reteach you in old and lost arts, such as how to move stones of great weight with your mind. In today's vocabulary, it is called levitation. The ability to levitate will be very helpful to you to build great halls and meeting places, to erect homes of new materials and dimension, to aid you in crossing rivers and lakes, and to gather building materials from distances. These beings will teach the new civilization to govern in righteousness and peace. There will be a blossoming of mental abilities of which you are not aware. These new abilities will help to make the everyday life easier and happier. The beings of other planets will take the technology left from this era and teach you how to improve it. They will help you find new forms of energy for locomotion, lighting, communicating, and for healing. This will be a time of new beginnings. Through the communication with spirit will come the ability to plug into the healing energy of the cosmos. It will be through your mind that healing will take place. The new era will be very much a mental world. You will learn to communicate through your thoughts. You will heal yourself through the ability of your mind. Through mental telepathy, man will be in communication with many worlds: spirit, other planets, dimensions, the animals, and even nature herself. The new species of man will have an understanding of nature, weather patterns, animals, minerals, plants, oceans, and oceanic life. Have you not noticed that when the time is right for a new idea to come into life, it does? Have you not noticed that one change brings with it many changes? Now then, what of great changes? Do you not see that great changes bring with them even greater changes? All will live in harmony. All will be cared for intelligently. The technology of today will seem old, obsolete, and archaic. The stories of this era will seem unbelievable to the younger generation. The young will think the old ones do not remember well. Future generations will have no concepts of hatred, anger, and war. The young will not understand the killing of their fellow man because of a mere difference of opinion. They will think all the different religions of today are not true. It will be inconceivable to them to kill because of the differences among man. Does the new era sound too good to be true? It is not too good, and it is all true. The populations will have been decimated and abated. The people left on earth will have a new will and a new viewpoint. They will see the ignorance of war, the futility of killing because of a difference of religious opinion. The population will survive, which will survive, will be a new people. Simply by living through the disasters, vast changes will occur in mankind. No one can live through such events without being changed. No one who survives will remain the same, no matter what they are like at the beginning of the changes, when the Earth begins to settle into its new orbit. The surviving people will already be a new people. In facing and confronting a disaster head on, each person grows inside himself. The reaction of these people will be spiritual. They will look for God in their lives. They will desire to have the God of the universe at their sides. They will have eliminated fear from within them. All harsh emotions will have vanished with the storms. The changes will be so great as to change the patterns of life in their DNA forever. Every person who survives physically will be affected. Every person who does not survive physically will be affected in many other ways. All beings in all worlds will feel some effect from the rotation of the universe. The survivors will have changed, and the changes will be for the better. This is also true of the animals, the plants, and the entire world. It is an evolution toward intelligence, peace, and love. The people who do not survive in the physical world will be in the spiritual world. They may be confused at the onset. The changes to their psyches will be just as dramatic. The evolutionary process will be just as great for them. Evolution is always toward growth. The process of change is always toward growth. All events will be for growth in the universe, this world, and in each individual. The evolutionary processes are already bearing fruit in the world. For the past 100 or so years, the psychic processes have become more active in man. Some call it a gut feeling or intuition. This is the psychic nature being activated in the species. Many call it a mother's sixth sense. What is evident is the refining of the sixth sense in mankind. No longer will man live by his five senses. Now a sixth sense has been added. This sixth sense has been in you from the beginning of time. Recently, it has been activated to an extent that it is now becoming commonplace. Throughout time, there have been those who could tap into the psychic. There has been much confusion as to what the psychic is and how it works. It is an inherent sense, much as your sight or hearing. It is the use of the emotional body to see into the unseen, to feel the directions of the Almighty. The evolutionary process has commenced and is ongoing. Evolution is not a one-time process, but one which is now slowly changing man into the new species. It is doing its work and changing at such a slow pace that it is unnoticeable. I've noticed these things, more and more people noticing things in themselves that perhaps they never noticed. I do not wish to give the impression that there will be no problems for man to face. It is through a facing of problems that man grows. But many of the problems of today will be eliminated because angers and hatreds will be eliminated. As always, there will be other issues to face. It is in confronting problems and solving problems that you are strengthened. Although the problems which will face man in the aftertime will be different from today's, there will be peace, peace in the world and peace in the family. The beginning of the new era will be quite different from the ending of the same era. This is just as the ending of this era finds the world quite different from the beginning. Change is the one constant in the universe. There will always be change. It is through change that all things grow. I wish only to give you a glimpse of the aftertime. It is not the message I came to give. We must deal with today. The people who are in the world now need to be prepared. In the aftertime, there will be new energies to use, such as love, light, and many other energies, of which you have not yet thought. You will develop talents which are hidden within you. You will be able to perform as Jesus did while he was on earth. Remember that he said, "The things I do, you will also." In this aftertime, man will be different than he is today. He will have many abilities which you do not have now. There will be communication with the spirit world and with other planets in other galaxies and other dimensions. The earth will become a member of the universe and take her place within the universal community. The use of the mind will become commonplace. Your mental abilities will be perfected and expanded. Through concentration, you will have more knowledge, more intelligence. The future holds many wonders and many new abilities for mankind. These abilities can be used for good or for destruction, but man will be harmonious by nature. Drastic changes in nature will bring with them drastic changes in man. Simply surviving the coming events will change man for the better. All right, so that is our chapter 9. How very enlightening and not unbelievable, but almost fantastical. A true Garden of Eden on earth, right? I think that was kind of how she explained it earlier in the book in an earlier chapter. So this leaves us with just one chapter left, and that is a message from Jesus. And I do believe I will also be able to read this last chapter in one video, which is very nice considering that we've had to break up so many of these chapters, which is okay. They're long. It's a lot of information. As always, reading any book, you're obtaining a lot of information. So we will stop right here. And in the next video, of course, we will read chapter 10, which is a message from Jesus. So until I see you next time, take care of yourself. Take care of those around you. Really think on what you're hearing in this book and put into practice what you feel comfortable putting into practice, even if it's just starting slowly and moving from there. Your growth is, there's no timeline or time frame on a growth. Just remember that you're exactly where you need to be. And if you're listening to this, what a great place to be. Even though some things can be scary, when you feel that fear, ask God to enter into your heart and he will take that fear away. I know he does for me. So I love you all so much, and I will see you for our last video, our last chapter of this book very soon. Bye-bye.